in England under severe strain. Now the Prime Minister has concluded that the health service is broken but not beaten after a surgeon and former Labour minister. It found long waits for care and poor survival rates for cancer. So Keir Starmer said investing in the NHS would always be a priority, but that before the money taps turned on, the plumbing had to be fixed. The government said 3 big shifts were needed: preventing illness in the first place, moving more care from hospitals to care in the community, and continuing to improve technology to create a digital NHS. Here's our health editor, Hugh Pym.
Voices from the NHS frontline today.
It's a really difficult time to be a GP. The attitude and some of the rhetoric that you hear is just really demoralising.
When I talk to people, it's, I can't wait for my retirement. I've got this amount of time left. It's a burnt out workforce.
Doctors and patients called the BBC as a bleak report on the NHS was published, and outside one West Midlands hospital there was no shortage of opinions.
I think it's struggling, yeah. It's under a lot of pressure.
I think the NHS has provided us, with the experience that we've had with our daughter, everything that we could possibly wish for.
Waiting for the referrals to be seen by a professional, the proper department, it takes way too long to wait.
Louise knows all about long waits. We spoke to her in April when she'd waited 1.5 years for a knee replacement and had to take early retirement as a teacher.
My mobility was so poor that I didn't feel comfortable or in the classroom. Come on then.
5 months later, we meet her again. She's had the operation, but went private. She thought she just couldn't wait any longer on the NHS.
I feel selfish for doing that and for betraying something that I've believed in very firmly all my life. But I felt I didn't have any choice, and I feel so guilty about the people who can't do what I've done. I'm lucky enough to have a pension to raise.
The Prime Minister says the answer is NHS reform rather than just money. But what does that mean in practice? You talk about shifting resources into community healthcare, improving technology and prevention of ill health. But these ideas have been talked about for some time. Some progress has already been made. What's new and different about your reform ideas?
That we've got a raw and honest assessment of where we're really at, that we're clear-eyed about this, meaning we need a 10-year plan, not a short-term set of decisions, and that we've got the mandate for change to carry this through.
The diagnosis of what's gone wrong came from this leading surgeon, Lord Darzi. He carried out a rapid review for the government.
The NHS is in a critical condition, but the vital signs are stable. We need, as I said, the resources, we need to motivate the staff, we need the infrastructure to transform every pathway of care, and we can get it back.
His report highlights years of low investment in infrastructure and NHS hospital buildings.
Like this one, that used to be a ward up there, but it had to be closed because it was structurally unsound, and it's proved too costly to get it rebuilt.
This is St Mary's Hospital in London, with staff struggling to work in 19th century buildings.
Our most urgent need is this site, and we need a complete sort of rebuild of the hospital.
There is new technology like this robot in the hospital pharmacy, but staff say things would work much more efficiently in a modern workplace. Hugh Pym, BBC News.
Well, I'm joined by our political correspondent, Joe Pike, and also by our social affairs editor, Alison Holt. So, Alison, this was a major review of the NHS, but social care wasn't actually part of the remit.
Not part of the remit, but Lord Darzi makes it very clear that a functioning social care system is vital to the future of the NHS, particularly if services are to shift from hospitals into the community. Now, the problems in social care are very well known. Staff shortages, underfunding for years, and an ageing population creating more demand. It has a huge knock-on effect on the NHS. Someone who's older or disabled is more likely to have a fall or an infection that takes them into hospital if they haven't got good social care. Also, people get stuck in hospital because there's no one to support them in the community. Now, many of the problems are around money. Even so, some places are trying to rethink what they are doing. This week in Leeds, for instance, they started a pilot scheme in 2 neighbourhoods. Health and care staff are working together much more closely. And importantly, care workers are being paid for a whole shift, not just for time with clients. This gives them security over the money they're getting. It also builds in flexibility to this system, which allows them to target help where it's needed. Now, today, the Prime Minister acknowledged the importance of social care, and he pointed to his plan for his 10-year plan for a national care service, but as yet, there's little detail and no timetable.
And on that point, Joe, there was not a lot of detail overall today, was there? Why not?
There wasn't, Rita, partly because we're just 10 weeks into a new government, and as Alison has touched on, these are pretty complex policy areas, but partly because today I think was really about scene setting, making it clear quite how bad a state England's NHS is, at least according to Labour. Why is Keir Starmer doing that? One is expectation management, of course, a bit like with the public finances. Things are bad, give us time, it won't be sorted overnight. The second thing that the PM is trying to do, I'm told, is make the case now that radical reform is needed before the battles ahead over the detail of that policy, because the PM and his Health Secretary Wes Streeting know that some of their reforms could be very controversial. A bigger role for the private sector could be controversial. More public health reforms, enlarging of the so-called nanny state, some would call it, that could be controversial. Locking horns with the unions could be controversial. And therefore now they're saying it's a bleak diagnosis to allow them later to say the only way to sort it out is a very potent political medicine. The danger, though, Rita, for Keir Starmer is that he's made solving the problems in England's NHS central to his premiership. Rishi Sunak arguably did something similar with stopping at the small boats. And as we know from the previous Prime Minister's experience, big aspirations aren't always entirely achieved.
Joe, Alison, thank you both very much. And there'll be more on the challenges faced by the Prime Minister on Newsnight with Victoria Derbyshire.
Yeah, to pick up on what Joe said, Keir Starmer says he's willing to take on the unions to reform the public sector. RMT union leader Mick Lynch is with us live, and American singer John Legend on his wife's abortion, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump's claims that immigrants are eating people's pets. We're on BBC Two and iPlayer at 10:30. See you then.
Victoria, thank you. Well, Donald Trump says he won't take part in another election debate with Kamala Harris. He's made the announcement 2 days after they met for the first time, after which he claimed the polls showed that he clearly won. Let's speak to our North America editor, Sarah Smith. So, Sarah, why won't he debate again?
Well, he says it's only losers that call for a rematch and claims that's why the Harris campaign immediately after the debate on Tuesday said, let's do another one. But of course, he's in a position where he's insisting that he won that debate, even though he's being widely mocked for saying that migrants are eating people's pet cats and dogs. And the Harris campaign are saying they want to have another go. Both the candidates are back out on the campaign trail now. And Kamala Harris at an event in North Carolina, she said she thought voters deserve another debate.
2 nights ago, Donald Trump and I had our first debate. And I believe we owe it to the voters to have another debate.
Now, the Harris campaign say they raised $47 million in the 24 hours after that debate. That's a huge sum of money. The Trump campaign having given us fundraising figures for the same period of time. But a lot of his supporters are going to be very relieved, actually, that he said he won't do another debate. They know he did not improve his chances of re-election with his performance on Tuesday night.
Sarah Smith in Washington. Thank you. Now, hundreds of miles above Earth, a bit of history has been made with the first ever privately funded spacewalk. Until recently, it's been governments which have backed space exploration, but the tech entrepreneur Jared Isaacman teamed up with Elon Musk's SpaceX to finance the groundbreaking venture. And this is the image of Mr. Isaacman emerging from the spacecraft, silhouetted against a spectacular view of Earth. Here's our science correspondent, Pallab Ghosh.
Back at home, we all have a lot of work to do, but from here, Earth sure looks like a perfect world.
Historic words for an historic moment. Out comes the first private sector astronaut to walk in space. Silhouetted in Earth's orbit, billionaire Jared Isaacman paid millions of dollars for this experience. He remains partly in the capsule, so more baby steps than a walk in space. and a chance to move around in the newly developed spacesuit to test its mobility.
We don't need very long out there, and frankly, other than the test matrix, we're not building structures on the International Space Station or repairing anything. So as soon as we get the data that we have, we'll cycle another crew member in and out.
That other crew member is mission specialist Sarah Gillis. It's her first time in space, and she's already making history, standing outside the Dragon capsule. Most crewed spacecraft have an airlock, which is a sealed door between the vacuum of space and the rest of the spacecraft. Normally, it's depressurized when astronauts go in and out. But Dragon doesn't have an airlock, so the entire craft has to be depressurized. The non-spacewalking astronauts have to be fully suited up and strapped into their chairs. And extra nitrogen and oxygen have to be added to repressurize the capsule when the spacewalk is over. The astronauts blasted off on Tuesday, going further into space since the Apollo moon missions of the 1960s and 70s. The spacecraft reached a maximum altitude of 870 miles above the Earth. That's nearly 3.5 times the distance to the International Space Station, which is 250 miles.
Up till now, every single spacewalk that's happened has been professional astronauts through a government agency, either the Soviets or the Americans, the Russians these days. And so to have the first one that's done commercially is a big step forward for the commercial space sector. And it's going to push the boundaries of what they can do, and it will extend their capabilities. And we're likely to see many more of these in the future.
The historic spacewalk now over, and so many firsts already achieved, the crew's attention turns to carrying out experiments before beginning their journey home in 2 days. Palab Ghosh, BBC News.
The inquiry into how the Countess of Chester Hospital handled Lucy Letby's crimes has been told about a review of Letby's time at a different hospital where she did placements in 2012 and 2015. The inquiry heard that Liverpool Women's Hospital found that babies' breathing tubes became dislodged at a markedly higher rate when Lucy Letby was working there. Judith Moritz reports.
The crimes Lucy Letby's been convicted of all stem from 1 year neonatal nurse in Chester.
Oh, Lucy, is it? Yes. Oh, my Chester, please. So give step in 2 seconds.
Oh, yes. Yeah. But after her trial, the police confirmed that they were investigating her full career, including training placements elsewhere. Letby spent 3 months at Liverpool Women's Hospital in 2012 and another 2 months there in 2015. She's been convicted of attempting to murder a baby at Chester by dislodging her endotracheal or breathing tube. Today, the public inquiry heard that it's very rare for such tubes to move during a nursing shift, but the hospital in Liverpool has made a startling discovery.
Generally occurs in less than 1% of shifts. As a side note, you will hear that an audit carried out by Liverpool Women's Hospital recorded that whilst Lucy Letby was working there, dislodgement of endotracheal tubes occurred in 40% of shifts that she worked. One may wonder why.
The inquiry heard opening statements on behalf of the baby's parents. Those families are anonymised because of court orders, but today their lawyers said some of them are concerned that that's cultivated an environment where people feel able to voice vile opinions about the case on social media, whilst humanising Letby. They also pointed their anger at the hospital's former executives, having seen the written statements they've provided to the inquiry.
Their continuing denials and deflections are painful to bear. It is hoped and expected that by the time they attend to give evidence before you in a few weeks' time, they will demonstrate far greater understanding of what went wrong at their hospital.
The families pointed the finger at former Chief Executive Tony Chambers, who they say should have overseen investigations into why babies were dying, along with Medical Director Ian Harvey. They said consultants who tried to raise concerns at the hospital were met with the obdurately closed minds of their managers. Tomorrow, the inquiry will hear opening remarks on behalf of some of those bosses who were running the Countess of Chester Hospital during Lucy Letby's time there. Judith Moritz, BBC News, Liverpool.
Scotland's only oil refinery will close next year with 400 jobs set to be cut. Petro Ineos, the owners of the Grangemouth plant on the Firth of Forth, confirmed the company would transform the site into a terminal for importing rather than refining. The Unite Union called the closure an act of industrial vandalism. Our Scotland editor James Cook reports.
Grangemouth has been refining fuels for a century, but it's now losing hundreds of thousands of pounds a day, struggling with declining demand for petrol and diesel as the world begins to shift to renewable energy. And so the site is going to import petrol, diesel and aviation fuel instead of making them, and that will mean at least 400 job losses.
Well, there's a real fear and real anger amongst the workforce and amongst the community here. This is the first test of a just transition in this country, and it's failed miserably. It's been failed by the company, and the people have been failed by the politicians. This could be economic and industrial vandalism of the biggest scale we've seen, and this town could be decimated if we do not do something about it.
Ministers here in Edinburgh and in London say they're investing £100 million in the local economy and exploring longer-term options for the site.
There will be investment in the site's long-term future. The Scottish Government and the United Kingdom Government have both jointly funded the Project Willow study, which has identified a short list of credible options to begin the building of a new long-term industry at the refinery site, including low-carbon hydrogen, clean e-fuels and sustainable aviation fuels.
But even if Project Willow works out, those jobs are years away. Cold comfort for staff being laid off in the coming months.
Well, I don't accept for a second that we're losing any of those skilled workers. Yes, this is really disappointing for them. Also because they've had the not knowing the uncertainty for such a long time with this refinery. It's been more than 10 years of a roller coaster. I think what we're doing is making sure that those skills transfer into some of the green energy jobs of the future.
In public, bosses and workers here are divided about the necessity of closing this refinery, but in private, they are united in accusing politicians of failing to deliver a just transition. James Cook, BBC News, Grangemouth.
Researchers have solved the mystery of what caused a seismic signal that shook the Earth for 9 days in September last year. A global team of researchers have pinned down the event to this remote fjord in Greenland, where a massive landslide caused a tsunami, a huge, powerful wave, with the impact felt for days afterwards. Our science correspondent Victoria Gill has more.
A land continuously carved and moulded by vast glaciers. But in one fjord in the east of Greenland, a seismic event has transformed the landscape here forever.
We're seeing here a sort of a simulation of how this seismic signal travelled around the world. When we run this, we'll start to see this wave.
This animation shows the signal that baffled scientists for 9 days in September of last year. The dots are seismic monitors around the world, picking up vibrations from something happening in Greenland. At the same time that scientists were puzzling over that, a team working in Greenland received a report of a large tsunami in the east of the country. These photographs show what caused it, a huge landslide into this fjord. Look at the mountaintop in this image taken before the event, and look at it afterwards. The top of the mountain is gone, collapsed into the fjord, taking parts of the glacier with it. The scientists analysed the depth and shape of this narrow 200-kilometre long fjord, and that revealed why the tsunami the landslide caused reverberated around the world for so long. The wave was essentially trapped.
The energy of that wave just can't escape. So that wave has to just keep bouncing back and forth, sloshing back and forth in the fjord. It just can't go anywhere. Never before has such a long duration sort of large-scale movement of water, over 9 days in this case, been observed.
Remote as it is, this is a location that cruise ships do visit. Fortunately, no vessels were in the area when the landslide happened. But scientists say the risk of these events is increasing with climate change. This glacier was holding up the mountain. Over decades, it melted and thinned, and eventually millions of cubic meters of rock simply collapsed. It's a destructive side effect of climate change that was felt around the world. Victoria Gill, BBC News.
Police in Tennessee have praised Jon Bon Jovi for helping a distressed woman who was on the ledge of a bridge in Nashville. CCTV footage shows the rock star approaching the stranger before talking to her and lifting her over the barrier to safety. Nada Torpik has the story.
CCTV footage captured every harrowing instant of the now viral rescue on Tuesday evening. On this pedestrian bridge in Nashville, People appear to be going about their day, and several walk past a woman seen here standing on the ledge, clearly in a moment of crisis. Also unfolding just a few feet away, a music video shoot with the rock star Jon Bon Jovi. When he and his team notice the distraught woman, they begin to approach slowly and with care. The Bon Jovi frontman initially waves to her and leans on the railing before he joins his assistant to talk her down. Whatever they say works. The woman turns around, takes the singer's hand, and climbs over the barrier with his assistants. Once back on the walkway and safe, Jon Bon Jovi gives her a hug. And almost 2 minutes later, he helps her walk back across the bridge. The footage was released by the Nashville Police Department, which praised the rock star. Their statement reads, "It takes all of us to help keep each other safe." Jon Bon Jovi's representative says he won't be commenting on the incident. His fans, though, have, thanking him on social media for stopping to speak to the woman and for his kindness. It's not every day that a star is someone's savior. Neda Tawfiq, BBC News, New York.
And if you need support on the issues raised in that report, there's a list of organisations that can help at bbc.co.uk/action line. Now, a famous black and white photograph of Winston Churchill from 1941 has been found 2 years after it went missing from a hotel in Canada. Police tracked the portrait to a private buyer in Italy who was unaware it had been stolen. Graham Satchell picks up the story.
1941, and Winston Churchill is giving a speech to the Canadian Parliament. He tells them a story that French generals had said Britain would have its neck wrung like a chicken in just 3 weeks. This was his famous response.
Some chicken. Some neck.
Just moments later, the wartime leader had his photograph taken. It has become the definitive image of Churchill, epitomising Britain's bulldog spirit. It was taken by photographer Yusuf Karsh. Years later, he explained the reason for the famous scowl. Karsh had just pulled Churchill's cigar out of his mouth.
I said, "Forgive me, sir." By the time I walked back to my camera, the 4 feet, he looked so belligerent he could have devoured me. And then he delivered himself with one of the most eloquent remarks. He said, "You can even make a roaring lion stand still to be photographed."
And the image has been known as the Roaring Lion ever since. It has been on the £5 note since 2016. Karsh gave a signed copy of the print to the Chateau Laurier Hotel in Ottawa, where he'd lived for almost 20 years. It hung in the reading room. Then, in 2022, staff noticed it had been stolen and replaced with a fake. The police were helped by hundreds of people who sent in their own photos, some with the real image, some with the fake. It allowed them to narrow the date of the theft to just a few days. We now know the photograph was stolen in Canada just after Christmas in 2021. Earlier this year, it was sold in London at an unnamed auction house and was eventually recovered from a private buyer in northern Italy. But still, there are unanswered questions.
Why the auction house didn't do a quick Google search on the internet is beyond me. They would have found instantly that this was a stolen piece.
The photograph will be returned to Canada later this month and restored to the reading room to roar once more. Graham Satchell, BBC News.
Time for a look at the weather now. Here's Thomas with what looks like the Northern Lights.
Indeed, Rita. Reports of a faint glow on the horizon in parts of the country right now and over the next few hours. So it's clear where you are, and the chances are that it is. You may just be able to spot them low on the horizon. Now, this is the forecast, so the probability, the red is where the aurora is right overhead, but because they're quite intense, we're seeing it from far away. In fact, reports all the way down into Kent. Now, how about the weather itself? Well, after a clear night, we've got a clear and sunny morning on the way, and boy, is it going to be nippy first thing. In fact, a touch of frost is possible across a number of rural areas. So here are the skies across the UK, clear for the most part, so maybe 1 or 2 showers in the east of the country through the areas. But look at the temperatures in the cities. Birmingham 3 degrees, Hull 4 degrees, in rural spots around 3 or 4 degrees lower than that. So an air frost is certainly on the cards, perhaps even around about -1 in 1 or 2 places. Now, tomorrow morning, lots of sunshine right from the word go. Fluffy fair weather clouds developing during the course of the afternoon. Temperatures hovering around 15 Celsius, so still strong sunshine this time of the year. That big diurnal contrast in the temperature. And then through Saturday, we're expecting a weather front to brush the northwest of the UK, bringing a little bit of rain, but with a southwesterly breeze across the rest of the UK, it's going to feel a little bit warmer with those temperatures nudging up to close to 20 degrees Celsius. Now, if you're thinking about the rest of the weekend, is Sunday, bit of a fly in the ointment. This weather front will bring a few showers, but the crucial message is that southwesterly winds are expected to develop with high pressure, and we've got some fine summer days, late summer days with pleasant temperatures still ahead. Rita.
Hooray. Thank you, Thomas. And that is tonight's BBC News at 10. Now on BBC One, it's time to join our colleagues for the news where you are. Good night.
Rita, thanks very much. Hello to you, good evening. I'm Edward Salt and you're watching South Today. Two women from the south of England are backing a new campaign tonight for a task force to tackle economic abuse. That can take many forms, including coercing someone into debt, exploiting their assets, even restricting their access to cash and telephones. The charity Surviving Economic Abuse says it's an issue which has affected 1 in 5 people. Our reporter Joe Palmer has been to meet 2 survivors, both of whom lost their family homes as a result of the abuse they suffered. We've hidden their identities at their request.
When he first of all moved in with me, he moved into a home that was owned by myself. I had a well-paid job. At the end of the relationship, I'd lost the home.
He walked away with a 6-figure salary and then began to cut off the bills to the household. I ended up unemployed, with no job, on benefits.
2 different women with frighteningly similar experiences. Long-term partners who isolated and coerced them, slowly draining their finances to the extent both lost their homes.
I can't trust people anymore. It makes you depressed, it makes you anxious.
I had my life together. I was quite confident, and you know, gradually that person was eroded to the point where the person I ended up being would have done anything to even spend a day with that, you know, former version of myself.
Emma's husband would use tactics like shame to coerce her if she asked where all their money was going.
What, am I not earning enough money? And it was, oh, what do you want me to do then? Go and get a second job? Well, I won't ever see the kids, but if that's what you want. Absolutely adept at making you look like the unreasonable one. Why are you on that? Why would you think that? And I think we'd call it gaslighting now, wouldn't we? We've got words for so many of these things that we didn't have.
But reaching out for help can be a challenge.
I don't think most women and men, because men can be subjected to this as well, actually understand what it is that they're going through. I knew how it made me feel and that it wasn't right, but I suppose I didn't have a label for it. It didn't initially seem like domestic abuse or a form of domestic abuse, because you always think of that more in terms of violence.
Emma and Lucy hope by sharing their experiences, it'll help others who feel trapped. Joe Palmer, BBC South Today.
A really sobering story tonight, isn't it? And if you've been affected by that story, you can find details of help and support at bbc.co.uk/actionline, or call for free anytime to hear recorded information. The number 08000 159 774. A man who murdered a Hampshire woman he paid for sex has been given a life sentence with a minimum of 21 years. 56-year-old Samantha Holden was suffocated and strangled in her flat in Farnborough in September 2022. 37-year-old Adam Watson, also of Farnborough, fled the country before being arrested 2 days later at a hotel in Belgium. He was then extradited back to the United Kingdom. There have been protests on the Isle of Wight today by parents angry at plans to close a number of schools. This was the scene outside County Hall in Newport this afternoon. The council says a falling birth rate means lots of empty chairs in classrooms. Cowes, Arreton, Oakfield, Brading, Wroxall and God's Hill schools are all under threat. The Prime Minister today warned that the NHS is broken and there'll be no more money to prop it up without big changes. In Chichester today, a more positive tone, where modest investment has led to the opening of a new children's A&E. Here's our health correspondent, Alistair Fee.
Even in hospital, a teddy bear can make a child's day better, especially Paddington Bear.
My friend Paddy, he's actually busy in London. It's Marmalade Day in Windsor Garden, so he's there. But he asked me to send some deputies along and some books. So a couple of the children here have been enjoying cuddling Paddington.
Well, I'm very delighted to declare this A&E unit for the young people. Actor Hugh Bonneville was at St Richard's Hospital today to open a new emergency department that's dedicated to children's care.
This is like our mass room.
These new facilities have cost the Trust just over £13,000. But the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, has today warned there will be no more funding for the NHS without reform.
I'd be wrong, I'd be lying if I said we don't have our challenges. But I think, you know, we just have to all work together. If we're a team, we can actually achieve so much. You know, we achieved this with such a little trust investment, if I'm honest. I can't tell you how generous families are. Like, we just put our signs up for our Amazon wish list. We get detonated all the toys.
Today's launch was a welcome distraction from the wider pressures on a system stretched to the limit. It's proof too of the dedication on the ground to provide the very best care for the youngest and most vulnerable patients as we head into winter. Alistair Fee, BBC South Today.
Nice to see Paddington there, isn't it? Okay, let's get the forecast now. A bright, beautiful, crisp day today, but it was feeling cold. What's it going to be like tomorrow? Here's Alexis.
Hello there, we've had a few heavy thundery showers today. Overnight tonight, the showers will ease and the skies will clear. With light winds, it will turn quite chilly, particularly out in the countryside, where we could see temperatures fall as low as 2 or 3 Celsius with a fairly light northerly winds. Now, tomorrow there will be blue skies from the word go. As the day progresses, very like today, we'll see cloud bubble up in places, but it will stay dry thanks to that ridge of high pressure building in from the southwest. Temperatures tomorrow could be a degree or so higher than today, and the winds a lot lighter than recent days. High pressure still in charge during the course of Saturday. It's a dry day with variable cloud arriving during the course of the afternoon after a dry start. And there is a chance that we could see maybe a touch of frost first thing on Saturday morning. The frost is more likely tonight under the clear skies with the light winds. Temperatures rise above their seasonal average way into next week, up to around 22 Celsius, and high pressures in charge next week, so it should be mainly dry.
Hurrah, that's the news in the south today. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Service. I think we may have a problem with being controlled remotely.
There's been a hijacking. Had access all 20th century.
This train is now a guided missile.
One of the passengers may be working with the hackers. Don't trust anyone.
Oh, she got.
Prepare for impact. Come on!
Night Sleeper. Starts Sunday at 9 on BBC One and iPlayer.
Zelensky, it's an amazing journey.
I was not thinking about any politics.
I think he's the greatest optimist.
You had to make a choice. What is the price of your life?
The Zelensky story. Press red to watch now on BBC iPlayer.
A story of courage, love and loss now on BBC One, told through unique first-person footage and with strong language.
Rob, sorry, can't pick up the phone right now, but leave a message and I'll get back to you.
Oh, hi, Rob. You mentioned that you had some of Chris's things that you'd retrieved. I'd love to have a look at them if that's okay. Thanks a lot. See you soon.
Hello, Paddy.
Hi, Rob. Hi, Christine.
All right.
Well, this is Chris's bedroom.
This is Chris's.
Yeah. It hasn't changed very much since he was here. This is the bag which came back from Ukraine.
This is the gear that he had out.
Yeah. This is helmet he would have been wearing. Camouflage jacket. This band on his right arm, which would have denoted that he was a volunteer. And his computer. This to me is the world, because this shows Chris. There's video footage of Chris on missions.
Is this material that he filmed himself?
Yeah, this GoPro. I feel that I should go through it. I want to go through it, but I feel I've got to go through it to be with Chris.
Okay, we are in the grey zone now. On the way to this house. Fucking around the gauntlet.
Dobry dzień, ewakuacji!
Fuck, they're not even here. Fuck.
This is Christopher Matthew.
43.
He was born at the 153.
I didn't really enjoy being pregnant, I have to say. He was a very active baby, that's for sure.
Even then, he was on the move.
Yes, that's right.
I'm 18 months older than Chris. Technically, I'm his older sister, but he always felt like my older brother. We spent our childhood outdoors, climbing trees, racing around in a petrol go-kart.
He was at the top of the class for maths and science, just very academic, but with that very sporty, very social, just brilliant, all-rounder brilliant.
He could be a stubborn prick when he wanted to be. Like, he's not like, he's human. Like, when he fixates on stuff, obsessed on stuff.
There wasn't any discussion about sort of like whether we should do it or not. He would have gone and done it already.
Melendez.
Yes, oh yeah, completely relentless.
In Kyiv today, a frightening new dawn for Europe and Ukraine. This city of 3 million awoke to sirens and an invasion. President Putin, who insisted it would never come, warning that no one should try to stop him.
Whoever tries to interfere with us or threaten our country should know Russia's response will be immediate and will lead to such consequences that have never been experienced in history.
Where was Chris when the Russians invaded Ukraine?
He was actually home with us, wasn't he? He became very, very interested in the news, more than he would usually do.
A day has changed everything for Ukraine and for security in Europe.
And he asked you that ultimate question, didn't he?
If I would ever fight for your country. So I said, yeah, of course I would. That's without a shadow of a doubt. And that was the end of the story. That was all he said. You're not going to use any big words on me now, are you? Because I'll just look stupid.
Only little ones.
Yeah. It was this outpouring of feeling for trying to do something to help. And I formed a messenger group. Chris got in touch with me, and his questions were relevant to joining some branch of the military to help with the fight.
I kind of just became obsessed with it. I was watching the news 24/7. I thought, I just have to go out there and help. I can't just stand by and let this happen without at least trying to help.
Because this was just theoretical at this point.
Yeah, so you're talking, so from the 24th is when it kicked off. That's when they invaded. On the 28th, he said, I'm flying to Poland tomorrow morning. There it is for real. And he was the first of the guys, of all the people that we spoke to, that was going to go. I started asking him about, did he have any military experience? And he said no. And then I said, have you got any firearms experience? And he said no. I've never shot a gun. I don't remember him ever having squeezed the trigger. I said, there's a likelihood that you'll probably kill one of your own side. I said, you're a danger to your friends if you haven't got the experience.
So the penny drops.
Yeah. I said, does your parents know? And he said no. He hadn't told his parents. So he flew to Krakow, and he was there by lunchtime. I don't know if it was phone calls or text, but he said, I've met some other guys. He was in a hospital, and he said, I met some other guys that are going. I think he met an American guy.
People were helping each other out, and there were just message boards and people connecting to one another. Nobody knew each other, but it's just like, I know a person who knows a person who knows a person who needs this. And so I get a message from Chris. It says, hey, I'm Chris. I'm looking to go to Ukraine. Can I catch a ride with you? And I was like, yeah, come on board. We'll figure it out. I have a business in Ukraine with Ukrainian employees. I wanted to help. So we're in a van delivering humanitarian supplies. Chris had his passport, but he forgot his driver's license. That's why he was looking to catch a ride with somebody. He seemed overly confident that everything would be fine. I'm like, you don't have a driver's license. Aren't you going to need that? He's like, well, it's a war. They're not going to question anything. And I was like, okay, it's a good point. We waltzed up to the border like it was nothing. There was no wait. And everybody was going this way, and we were going this way. And we were like, are we crazy here that we're like going into a war zone that everybody else is trying to leave? seem to know what to expect. The Russians were over on the eastern side of the country, and this is very much in the west. But as you get closer to the Lviv, you get more checkpoints, and more serious checkpoints as well.
So my name's Brogan, and I'm from Dundee in Scotland. I was a cleaner for a while, and then I was in retail after that, Lidl and Aldi. I was putting out the newspapers for the customers when we opened, and there was that really famous image of the woman, and she had an injury on her head, and I knew from that moment that I wanted to do something.
It was the first time in my life that I felt empathy towards other people in a big way. But also, not to be too cheesy, but like as an American, Ukraine was trying to become more free. And so Russia came back in, trying to take that away from them. And so that made me kind of pissed off, you know?
Well, day 4 of the war, I quit my job. My wife was not overly impressed when she figured out that I was going to go there. You know, I thought there was a good chance I'd never be coming back. Nobody knew what was going to happen at that stage.
I had this overwhelming feeling once crossing the border that I wasn't safe. I was like looking in amongst the forest because I thought I was going to see like Russians in there. You know, I was like, just the level of complete panic. I didn't know what to expect. I thought there was going to be bombs everywhere, like things like that. I mean, yeah, looking back, it was a pretty frantic kind of fear.
Yeah, I can honestly say that coming into Ukraine was just really exciting for me. I really enjoyed it, you know? Like, dude, heck yeah. 24, you know? Nothing else going on, why not?
Yo, so I'm traveling to Lviv now. Fucking hell, there's thousands upon thousands of women, children, babies out in the freezing cold outside the train station, waiting to get a train to escape.
Oh my god.
Security time is stopped by the military 2 times, maybe 3 times already. So I've long message, but just thought I'd keep you updated.
We're taking this over.
Yeah, we're going through here work. So we get to Lviv and we go to the hub. I was like, yeah, we rented this for the employees and it's a place to stay. And I mean, Chris, if you need to stay here, you can.
I heard that Brendan is arriving, so
He's your boss.
He's my boss. So yeah, definitely I came out to meet him. We were impressed that he made the trip from America.
And then there's this guy.
And there's this guy with him. I don't know this guy. Is just some British young lad.
I introduce him to everybody and how it's going around and stuff like that. Within 5 minutes, he's like, hey, that she is something else. And I was just like, whatever, dude. Like, that's cool. Like, Ukrainians, especially Ukrainian women, tend to be a little, standoffish at first.
I don't know. He was not very talkative at that point because I think we were all talking to Brendan. He just stood there and then we started to ask him questions. What is he doing here? And he just like, well, yeah, I just came to help. I just felt like this urge. I need to be here. And here I am. And I'm like, wow, what a crazy person. I actually thought he was crazy. I did like him, but I thought that's not something I want to be involved with.
The first weeks of the invasion, you had a lot of people who somehow tried to give a sense of purpose to their life, and from everywhere, from every country. I met people from Colombia, Sri Lanka, New Zealand, So yeah, just wandering around, and especially in the early days, I was in a cheap hostel, and this hostel was packed with people like that. And sometimes I had the feeling that being a journalist, I was the only one in that big hostel with an actual clear goal, being doing my work. The rest of the people were like trying to find something to do.
Some people are there to, they want to deliver bread, and they want to, I mean, I met a man that was, I think he's from Brazil. He was a clown that went to different war zones to put on shows for children. But there's all kinds of people. It's just a bunch of random people in a strange and crazy place.
He was looking for a job, like for something to do, and he needed connections. So we went to this humanitarian center. They were sending people to the east, to actual frontline places.
Towards the fighting.
Yes. Everyone was so surprised that he's from Britain and that he's coming to help, and everybody was like, dude, you're going to die. It's too dangerous out there. You do know what you're signing up for. And I saw him like really like being nervous. He wasn't showing, but like you could see that his hands are slightly shaking, and he's just very quiet, sitting just in his own thoughts. And when we met the man and he asked him, what are the chances of us being killed? The man said, well, like it's 50-50. And he's like, 50-50. That's just, I'll take that chance. He relaxed immediately.
Dla Miejca? He's ready to go. He's ready to go very soon, tomorrow. He's the main boss of this van.
Chris told me that he hadn't told his parents where he was. He even didn't tell his friends. He made me take a picture of the contacts of his family and asked me if he's not coming back to get in touch with them and tell them where he was and like the story, my time with him. And I was like, there was barely any time with him at that point.
But he wanted to be noticed by you.
Yeah, he told me like he noticed me right away. Even in that humanitarian center, I was looking horrible. Just it was so cold. I was wearing everything I had that could make me warm, like a horrible hat and just no makeup. All the jackets I had, like 2 sweaters and probably 2 pants and 3 socks. But he did say that he liked me right away. It was actually nice to be in a center of somebody's attention that much, and I did see him nervous, and I held his hand so that maybe he saw that me holding his hand as a sign or something that he can actually make a move. So he did try to kiss me before leaving for the east, but no, he did not. He tried. And then he left to the east. But he sent me this voice messages.
Okay. Oh yeah. Thank you so much for this morning. Honestly, it means the world to me. It's hard to explain.
I don't mind talking to you like any. Okay, I can speak to you normally. So I have many hours on the road, and I was wondering if you could possibly assist me in learning Ukrainian. Why not get some practice in trying to actually listen and then repeat and just do that for the next 300 hours. If you could do that, that'd be amazing.
The G sound is G, and the other one without the kick is H, and the X is H.
I
How would you spell Chris? Chris.
You need to work on your R sound. If you write it the way you wrote it, it would sound like Chris.
Yeah, but my name is neither of those. It's Chris. Chris is, but Chris.
So what's it like when you first arrive on the front line?
It's crazy. It's a serious war, and the war is, the war is bombing. That's hundreds, thousands of shells a day. Who knows how many shells get fired a day? There's unexploded ordnance all over the place. Rockets stuck in the ground. I was there to help. I knew that someone had to go get the people out of the more serious places.
Have you trained to be an evacuator?
I don't think any of us trained.
Dude, no, you're extra sketchy, man. I mean, you show up, have a van with as many seats as you can fit into it, be willing to drive, be willing to die. I don't know. There's not any large organizations doing evacs. That's the thing. Usually it's just little groups, who are in contact with each other, but kind of operate alone.
So some people like to be led, some people like to lead, right? I guess that's true. Like I don't know if I like it, but do I like it? Maybe. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I never thought about that. I was already kind of building up a social media presence, so to say. It was small time, but I was already spreading information that we're doing evacuations and Lisa chance. And I started getting messages saying, hey, we have this relative, like, hey, can you pick these people up?
So you're giving an address?
Yeah.
And you'll drive in and rescue them?
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, we have, I don't know, our grandma is there, she wants to leave, or, our dad is living there, he doesn't want to leave, but can you try and persuade him and stuff like that.
Бабуля, как вас зовут? Аня. Аня. Давайте. Готовьте машину. Давайте. Сідайте. Ой, прильот. Поїхали, грати, давайте.
I could work in these super dangerous areas. So I can do videos from there. I can put it together into like a social media clip.
Забили машину, пересідай. Бабуля, у вас добре, нормально?
Так, я розкажу.
Що ти на лючку, ви біжите? Пуля, вперед! Сука! Вперед! Давайте, поможите другу руку,
Ага. So we got the grandma out, and that video did really well. I got like, I don't know, 6-7 million views maybe combined.
Why was a social media presence important for people?
Man, funding. We just need diesel in the tank, man. I think with Instagram especially versus like the other social medias, with Instagram you can tell a story and have them not only fall in love with like the work that you're doing, but you as a person, if you're able to show your personality, which some of the guys have figured out how to do that, and you can make obscene amounts of money, man.
Yeah, that in the first month, I accrued enough to buy a 4-wheel drive, which my commander wanted. Just filming cats and dogs, timing them with the artillery. The cat did better than anything. The dog would come second. And then a Kalashnikov, a rifle, would be third. So cat, dog, AK.
When I first met Brandon, he told me to have more cats and dogs in my videos in order to get more followers. It's interesting. There's definitely a strategy to it,
Come in, Iggy.
Do you remember meeting Chris for the first time?
Yeah. It was cool to see like another dude like similar in age. I hoped he was American until he opened his mouth. I was like, shit. He was like, hello, and I was like, damn it, man, because I love meeting Americans over there. It's cool. We had like a little bit of camaraderie.
Was he quite green? Was he? Did he?
Yeah, he's pretty green. In the beginning, he was doing super simple things. Like nothing unnecessarily dangerous. He was very willing, though. He had like a ton of willingness.
So just arrived in Bakhmut. My van is parked under a bridge. Security and the other guys in the 4x4s have gone off to pick up lots of people today and then carry them back here. It's kind of a meeting point. And then go back into more and then we'll be together. So here I am, waiting. Just listening to the artillery going up around me, the small arms firing. In the background. Who knows how long it's going to be? Probably 2 hours.
Well, guys, we have confident.
Somebody said they're coming back, but I wasn't sure which one.
Chris wanted to do much more than sit at the bridge in a bus. I could tell that much about it for sure.
So you take one of you guys to Kramatorsk railway station.
Okay.
You take the lady with a broken arm to Kramatorsk Hospital number 3.
He wasn't very happy kind of from these missions I had for him. He wanted to be more in the mix and in the action, of course.
We will go out together or might No, you go alone.
Right, sure.
Thank you for the help. I know some of my grammar jokes are in the...
It's fine, yeah. It is what it is.
In the early weeks, we were bringing out hundreds of people. Usually, people with kids leave first, the families. And that's like as the front line is approaching that city. But over time, the people who did need to leave stayed way too long.
So the last people that wanted to leave generally.
Yeah, they're poor, old, and stubborn. Yeah. It's like Russians right around the corner, and that's when they want to leave. So by the time Chris was doing evacs, it's risky.
So you started doing evacuations with Chris?
Yeah. He generally wanted to help people. We spent quite a bit of time together.
So that looks like a good angle. And you enjoyed working alongside Chris?
With Chris? Yeah, Chris was fun. We're just two ridiculous guys with a similar sense of humor and a high fear threshold, I guess you'd say.
Do you remember this day? Yep. What do you remember? Where's this?
Volodar. It's right next to the front. And there's unexploded ordnance everywhere.
That looks like a good angle.
We'd be given the name and address where to go, and as stupid as it is, we use Google Maps. And it made it so that the maps aren't as accurate, so that Russia can't use them.
Okay, peace out, gangsters.
For speed, Chris and I split into 2 teams, each of us with an interpreter, so we could get out there as fast as possible.
So what military backup do you have?
None. We're on our own. Drones can spot you, and they carry grenades. They can drop a grenade on you.
Shit.
That's where are we?
No.
Okay.
Oh, there's Russia to our left. That's where the assholes are.
Okay. Okay, let's go. Drone. Whoa! Whoa. Let's go to this building.
So just wait a minute. Obviously. Oh man. I bet that was a fucking drone dropping a grenade.
So we just had to run across an open area. It was like 400 meters from the Russians' open plain. Like, we can see them, they can see us. Sort of situation.
Hold on, Pasha. Wait.
Pasha?
Yeah.
I dropped my keys. Oh, fucking okay.
Ewakuacja! Holy fuck. День добрий. Добрий день. Ладно за вами. Добрий день. Місце ще є, ми сьогодні на спринтері, а бусик таки далеко. Тому якщо хочете, давайте.
Ну, я могу. Ребят.
Допомогти?
Да, если можно.
Давайте.
Пошли. Так, вот эти ящики нет.
Так, ви просто кажіть, що вам треба.
Ось це.
Так, оця от коробка.
Да.
Xbox.
Xbox, yeah?
Ось це. Сейчас еще надо все подбрасывать.
Jesus Christ.
Це все точно треба?
Да, это скрипт, это надо.
Да.
Не, это вот так вот еще положите, пожалуйста, сверху аккуратно.
Oh my god. She's got a lot of stuff.
Ви знаєте, цей мішок, бо я тут
Pasha, there's too much stuff. Coat hangers. Yeah.
Fuck.
This is insane.
Ребята, слушайте меня, честно. Я прошу вас, оставьте меня, оставьте меня. Ну это же нельзя так. Если хочешь такое вывести, вывести.
Oh,
Так, не плачемо, давайте трошки швидше.
saying I'm begging you, please don't just chuck my stuff away and all that. But they probably got to carry a lot of stuff, you know.
Давай, you don't need this, you don't need this. Come on. Death, you will die.
Где мой жилет? Господи. Где мой жилет?
That's the most I ever saw someone try to take out.
Okay. Добре.
But I also understand. How do you leave everything you have?
It's quite sad, really.
Okay. Chris. I Natasha? Natasha.
I thought actually I was losing this place because I was actually dragged out of this place and put in section units everywhere, all over the country. Everything I had was in this place. You know, this is it.
That's awesome.
Okay, Natasha.
And I was dragged into section units and just all over with my jacket. And I'll tell you what, actually, was. Yeah, most of the time this jacket. I had this with me all the time. I was wearing this all the time, living in this jacket for a long time. That jacket, right? I've been wearing it all the time, and you know, sleeping in it, and just like, you know, in a room, in a section unit somewhere.
None.
No clothes, just that. Yes. You know, just what I was wearing,
the first we heard about him out there was when he called us to say, "Oh, I'm out in Poland."
That's right, in Warsaw, wasn't it?
No, don't worry. I'm not going to go into Ukraine.
The NHS is disgusting. You know, the police is disgusting. The fucking NHS and police together, I can go to jail, all of them. I want to lock up all the police and all the NHS and fucking. And let me see now, all the councils as well. Because I mean, Hampshire County Council and the police and the NHS, right, kept fucking dragging me out of my house into a section unit somewhere.
It flashed up on my mobile.
They're disgusting. They're nasty, evil bastards. We should have a death penalty, right? And it should be against the NHS and the police. For all the bad shit they've done over the years.
Yeah, I'm just so close to the border. He's probably picked up the Ukrainian network.
Quick as a flash.
Yes, absolutely.
Don't worry about it.
I was the piano man, and I'm proud of what I've done. You know, I made all the family.
So I'm here at
in this country, well, I say, look at the police, look at the NHS. I mean, they're disgusting, evil, nasty bastards. They should just die for what they do.
There's this huge crater. So I'm very near this.
I'm just taking some more in here, friends. I'm buying these like all the time. I'm taking them all the time. I'm trying to deal with the pain in them.
For about a month, he was coming and going.
You can't trust the NHS.
And what do you think about him when he was away?
Yeah.
Tell me about your feelings towards Chris.
Well, we were never alone, but he kind of like, I felt like he's following me around a bit. I mean, it was not a very big space. We lived in the same apartment with 15 other people, but he would just be there on the sofa with me. Like if I sit down, he'd just sit down next to me.
He was always there.
He was always there.
You look around, he was there.
I kind of enjoyed it. After a while, I started enjoying it because he was very different. He took that depression, just pushed it somewhere aside and brought my attention on him. He was like a force of nature, actually. That's yeah, for sure. He was flirting all the time, so. We were sharing a room all the time with some people. There was never space, but then suddenly somebody was moving out, so that's when I realized, well, I don't want to share a room with anybody anymore. I just want to share a room with Chris. I wanted to be discreet all the time, so I didn't want to openly say, well, I'm moving in here, and Chris is moving into this room with me. And Chris said, well, don't be silly. They all know we're together. Everybody knows. And I'm like, okay. It's out of my hands. Just being at war, being in danger and having this crisis all around you kind of brought us very, very close together, and it was very emotional. He was going somewhere again. and suddenly said he loved me, and I just hugged him. I didn't say it back. I didn't know how to react. I didn't really believe it, but then he kept saying it for the next couple of days.
Like a number of times before I first said I love you to you, I wanted to say it, but I held myself back. And then when I did say it and you said nothing, and I was like, fuck you. No, I then obviously said it a few times, and then I was like, actually, I'm just gonna pressure you or make you feel weird. So that's why I stopped saying it.
Felt really tough. He said, I'm not gonna nag you with this anymore. I'm not gonna say it anymore. That's what he thought. And then I said it. So it's just everything was moving. It felt like everything so chaotic, and at the same time, so it was like an island of just calmness and nice emotions when I was with him. Yeah.
I guess being there, it can be thrilling, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got the social media element too.
But you seem to be the hero, you know? Everybody sees you as a good person doing good things.
Can people start to change their behaviors, because of their audience?
No, 100%, yeah. Like I said, we're human, man. You start to seek out that stuff, maybe take more risks. Yeah. There's definitely like a negative side to it, in my opinion. You are doing it, though, because you have a heart and you have this connection with yourself. And you're not doing it for money, most likely, right? You're doing it because you believe in something. So you have to have that internal dialogue. And I think it's just constantly back and forth.
So Chris is doing well as an evacuator.
Yeah. He's got the adventure going. He feels like he's accomplishing things. Problem is that things just went farther and farther. Well, as soon as he got that Toyota Land Cruiser running, he just started going by himself. I even asked him why he would go by himself when I would go with him, and he told me that he knew I wouldn't go because it was too dangerous. So he just went by himself.
Yeah, we are in the grey zone now.
What is the grey zone?
No man's land. Like it's where the war property is, where it's not held by Ukraine or Russia. So, it fluctuates all the time. Whoever gave us an address to go to, generally speaking, has some information of where the battle is. But the more time you spend in that area, the more likely you are to run into the Russians. But Chris, you go no matter what.
So down there, the basement is up. Okay. This is gonna be 38, right? 21, 42, 34, 36, 38. Okay, let's fucking run the gauntlet. That's the fucking basement.
Добрий день, евакуації!
That's not where I should park. Dobry dzień.
Ewakuacji! Dobry dzień! Dobry dzień. Dobry dzień. Dobry dzień.
Ja, nagle tak. Autograph to them, you know.
Please tell me that.
Dobry dzień. Dobry dzień. Ewakuacji. Ewakuacji. Dobry dzień, dobry dzień. Hello.
I've actually put this on as well because I'm a bit cold. Oh, what's cold? It's fucking bloody freezing. I've got no gas or anything now. I owe £800 gas. So.
Нет. Next time. Ага. Оба. Спасибо. Давайте. Пока. The entrance looks like. Добрий день! Евакуації! Добрий день! Fuck, you're in here. Добрий день! Евакуації! Добрий день! Damn it, that's nice. Evacuatie!
Your ruling could bring the slave trade to its knees, entirely destroy an economic foundation of this land. Is that pressure not maddening, Rook?
Justitia fiat, ruat coelum, Mr. Davinia. Let justice be done, though the heavens may fall.
Again today, with the announcement from the Justice Minister, Naomi Long, who has confirmed that postmasters from Northern Ireland who were wrongly convicted in the post office scandal will have their names cleared under new legislation.
It's great to receive the news on Friday, the 24th of May, from a feeling of anxiety to a feeling of, joy, really, in such a short space of time. The audit that took place that found that the shortfall of the £16,200 happened on the 22nd of May 2012. And a couple of days later, on the 24th of May 2012, I was hospitalised because of my poor mental health.
You got sections, really?
I suppose there's a bit of irony there and a bit of a coming full circle that the day the legislation comes through, it's on the 24th of May, exactly 12 years.
12 years,
but mad. I don't think you could write it. The whole story since the start of January and the showing of the Minister-based programme has been surreal.
That's quite mad, really.
I am fighting a battle.
Just West Sussex.
The battle I want to fight is today's battle to help today's people.
Today, Rupert is meeting capture victim Steve for the first time.
I know him to be a mild-mannered man who's suffered the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune with fortitude.
Taunton, Somerset, really? I was driving to Somerset, Taunton all the time.
To sort of like meet with other people.
I sold them pianos.
I find it very nerve-wracking, if you like, to be out and about in public. Today, it's worth it. I'm going to get to meet Rupert.
Mr. Marston.
Rupert, nice to meet you.
Yeah, and you, sir.
Yeah,
bless you.
Thanks for coming.
Today, we think there are 36 capture cases.
Yeah.
It isn't as big as the Horizon scandal in terms of the number of people involved, but the damage that it did to folk like yourself was just as significant. And, I worked at the post office. It was my career. It appalled me.
It wasn't yourself, Rupert.
Well, no, it wasn't, no. But I guess I want to say this to you, Steve. I would like to apologise to you in lieu of any proper apology on their part.
You don't have to apologise. I know you worked for them for all those years, and I can understand you having a certain feeling of guilt about it. But what you're doing now shows the person you are. Of course I'll accept your apology.
Well, that's very nice. So where are we going to go from here then, Steve?
What I want to do is try and arrange for all of us, the capture victims, yourself, for all of us to sort of like have a meeting together.
Maybe we need to meet in Fanny Compton.
Yeah. Well, why not?
There wasn't a sufficiently large body of evidence to include the capture system and the exonerations. There's a lot of work still to be done on that, but clearly the government has now got this on board, I'm confident that it will now happen.
The government, let's go. It's a capture. It's a capture out the report to
Alan Bates, who led the campaign for justice for victims of the Post Office IT scandal, has been given a knighthood in the King's birthday honours. He insisted the honour wasn't just for him, but for everyone who'd supported his cause.
Has Alan changed since he became a Sir?
Not at all. He's still as annoying as ever. No, he's not changed at all.
It's a great honour, and it's another string to my bow, really, to carry on beating everybody to try and get the money out for the victims in this, which is the real important thing. Even now, people are settling for sums in these schemes that are less than what they should be, and it is wrong. Some people have been waiting 20 odd years.
There's always going to be this sense of time loss, you know, that we haven't properly been living for all that time. We've just been fighting.
We know we've got the support of the nation these days, and they are interested and they are following what's going on. And if we run into problems, we will go back to the nation and ask them for their support without any hesitation. It isn't over yet, and I don't want people to think it is over.
This is mainly about the post offices. Yeah, all the families suffering. Yeah, well, I know, I feel good about what I've done with the pianos and all that. I know I made the families happy. That's all that mattered to me, really. You know, I didn't care about making loads of money. It was not about money. It was about watching the family smile and be happy playing music. It was quite mad, really, because I went on to GoFundMe and I said to him about my life as a piano man, and I got not a penny, nothing, nothing at all. So I thought, well, what's the point in even bothering? I mean, nightmares, yeah, all that. That's with the Horizon system. That's ended.
Promise me I won't lose her. It's been a tough day.
Oh yeah, what'd you do?
I'm a thief. coming soon to ITV1 and ITVX.
A new set of single parents. I am ready to love again, definitely. Search for love. It's up to you to decide who dates who. Because it's never too late to feel butterflies. My Mum, Your Dad starts Monday at 9 on ITV1 and ITVX.
I got my benefits on Tuesday,
Shaking
right?
things up by pairing the boys with different girlfriends. With strong language and adult themes throughout, it's Olivia Attwood's Bad Boyfriends.
Bad boyfriends, really.
For date night or for missing date night? Abbott Lion Personalised Jewellery sponsors Olivia Attwood's Bad Boyfriends. Previously,
Do you think you're ready for marriage?
the boys got a thorough grilling from each other's girlfriends.
I'm trying to make sure that you're not here to play a game and to win a competition.
Stuff. At the end of the day, I feel like you just need to focus on your relationship and
I
not
think you
focus
need
on
to,
mine.
I think you need to sit back down.
I then set them the task of shopping for the perfect gift.
Baby, I don't wear silver.
Wow, that's really nice. Thanks. Oh, that was really shitty, mate.
And now, as one couple reach breaking point,
Obviously, doesn't matter how I feel.
He's going to learn the hard way, unfortunately, and that'll be by losing.
The whole team made me look like a prick.
Who's calling you a prick?
No, you don't.
who will make
Minister,
it to the
Minister,
final?
what can I say? Well, fucking hell.
There will be.
I was sat in that place at 27 close
is
to
going
shows
home?
and
The
she
boy
went
voting
off Jason Brown and he threatened to stab me and it was terrible to not have the love that
Jordan,
she had for me years ago. Well,
You've been waiting a long time for this, so I hope you appreciate it.
Oh my god, what the hell is happening?
and last night I did say I phoned up 111 and I spoke to this police lady and she said her name was Melissa and I thought fucking hell, that's crazy.
Do you like it?
I was like, I got into a relationship with Melissa, and her dad got me buying the sound pianos. I was the piano man.
That's a really random place to get.
No, but I know I've got my pants down, this is very random. But when I go down on one knee, we get the picture from above, I just have a Jordania and I'll have my ring in my hand. So, is it nice or not? You know what the...
No, it is nice. Jordan, let's stand. What do you think? I was just like, what was going on? Like, I literally thought like he was going to lick it and wipe it off and it was going to come off. I didn't for 1 minute think that was a real tattoo.
You don't look very happy.
I think they're in shock.
Well, this is on my body for the rest of my life.
You've explained it in a very jokey way.
She's been asking for a long time for a tattoo. She did ask me to get it on the wrist, but I wanted to get it into a place where she can actually see it. Her reaction, it wasn't the best for me. I've just tried to be romantic and it's not backfired on me.
Oh, he put her name on it.
I feel a little bit
Sorry.
sad for Sam because he did try. I love it. I think it's in a really nice place and it's her full name. She wasn't impressed. Bailey, do you want to drop your trousers?
No, I don't actually.
Okay.
I've actually got it just there.
I'm so glad you didn't get it on your leg. That is cute. That's really cute.
But yeah, obviously, it's not air conditioning. It's
Yeah,
just
this is
your
what
initials.
ladies asking their men to fucking put their names all over his fucking body and all that shit. And then they end up fucking breaking the heart just like that and running off with a different man. And it's fucking crazy, really. Yeah, I'm glad I never got Melissa's name on my fucking body. Yeah, I got mum and dad, and that's it. You know, on a tattoo. But I remember that day when I fucking realised that there was no love at all, nowhere. Melissa decided to fuck off, and that was it. Yeah. That's when me and my daughter, we moved down to fucking Lowbridge. But I mean, like I said, I moved to fucking Lowbridge, and round the corner was fucking Alan Snook, someone that was following me and harassing me for years when I was a nipper. And there he was, fucking round the corner. What I like about this place is, right, there's no fucking connections with people from when I was a nipper. There's all the memories I've got now is when I was going to Italy with my dad, you know. He lived in Bishopstoke and fucking we'd relate well and play snooker and all that and fucking have some good times. Like I'd have a few beers with his mates and all that. Yeah, but I mean, I'll go back to Lordshill and there's my brother Mark White, who was a fucking drug dealer. You know, and my brothers, well, they was all smoking cannabis in my mum's house, and it was fucking mental. So anyway, yeah, because don't forget, when I was a piano man, all the years I was dropping into my mum's to see how she was and that. Yeah, and there was definitely a lot of drugs in fucking Mega Drive and PGA golf and all that going on. I don't know what was our problem. I mean, I made the place nice. I decorated it and made it look fucking pretty cool, actually. And Wendy Ware, you know me, fucking, and you said I was fucking amazing. I do remember that. And I did say I'd marry you, but like I say, you married to a different man, so that's fine. It's quite mad, really. You know, I'm probably just going to die on my own. That's it. Just be like, I'll just die. That's it. I will. I'm sure I will one day. I'll just die. That's it. I don't know when, but it's going to happen one day. I mean, fucking hell. I'm glad next door's got someone to love and all that. I mean, fucking, I can't imagine she would fucking be as nasty as she was towards me. I mean, it's fucking terrible the way she treated me. Just being her neighbour was fucking hard. You know, it's difficult. And I don't know how did I fucking meet Jane Crawford? I mean, I do remember, I'm sure it was Jane and her sister see me walking up this fucking hill into Mulberry Lodge and all that shit. Walking up the hill and into the section unit. Yeah, because I was sectioned all the fucking time forever. I was law abiding, you know, I was never a bad person, really, you know. And fucking, what can I say? Well, the law, what law? I mean, fucking hell, this country's bollocks, it's fucking bullshit. You know, who was that short ass brown fucking bloke? Well, there he was. He was in the office all the fucking time. Probably watching every cunt, you know. I tried to restart my heating. It should work. I'm sure it should. Fucking, because I want to run the taps, the hot water comes out and all that. But like I say, this place is fucking freezing at times. You know, some days I'm like, fucking hell, I'm freezing, really cold. Sometimes I've got my door open and it's mad, really. It's sad to see all this shit, you know. It's fucking like a man and a woman and fucking all the feelings. Oh, fuck it, let's see what's going on.
Her reasons were bullshit to me.
Oh, yeah.
one thing was about trust and obviously communication. And I don't think that trust can improve further while being in this project. So the boy I'm voting for is Sam.
I don't think Maria's Sam's biggest fan anyway, so I'm not really surprised.
Sophia. The person I'm choosing is Victor. I feel like whenever we speak, I'm not getting a genuine reaction. You mentioned that you was always going to marry Maria, but she's clearly brought you here because you said you wasn't going to marry her. So it's like, I'm a bit confused. Was you always going to marry her, or was you not interested in getting married? So I'm sorry, but I've chosen you.
I wasn't really surprised about hearing my name. They all have that mindset and that opinion of us that we're lying about everything and everything is fake. So I wasn't actually surprised at all.
So Sam, Ruben, and Victor all have one vote.
At this point, I already know that Geordie's going to pick her, so I'm literally just looking at Victor, like smiling, saying, like, yeah, it's us.
I haven't seen much improvement. I don't think being here is going to benefit this couple in any way. So the person that I am voting for is Victor.
Okay, Victor, if you receive one more vote, you'll be going home tonight.
Lily.
So the boy I'm voting for is
Valentine's Day? Or for forgetting Valentine's Day? Abbott Lion Personalised Jewellery sponsors Olivia Atwood's Bad Boyfriends.
I'll tell you what, right? Yesterday, fucking hell. Today, I walked into fucking the jewellers. I said, look, I'll be getting my necklace out today, Friday. And I said, I've got the keeper ring to come out. I've got the Indian elephant ring. That's what come out. And I said also my bracelet, which is what come out. And I said, regards to the one which I paid on eBay, 60 quid, and you give me 45. Well, that you can just keep that because they wanted £50 to renew the contract. I said, no, I'm not paying 50 quid. You can keep that ring. And also there's the other one which I paid 45 for. A banging deal, 25 diamonds, 9 karat gold ladies ring. And I got a really good price on it. It was great. So I think it came out with about 45 quid. I think it was. That was it. And then I sold it to H&T on a. I'll buy it back, and they give me 80 quid. And I think I ended up owing them about 120 to get it back. Then they offered me a contract, another £50 to renew the contract for another 6 months. And I said, well, it's not really worth me doing that. I mean, really, to be honest, I think I'll be happy with the fact that I made some profit. I got it for 45. It went to you for 80 quid. So there's profit. There's 35 quid profit. So I'm going to forget the diamond ring because there's no lady in my life at all. No one loves me that much, really, to be honest. It's sad, really, how it is. I don't think I want to watch this program. It's it's mad, really. There's ladies, well, I don't think I love him, and all that. And I've got tattoos all over his body, and it's got your name on it, and fucking I still don't love him, man. The feeling was terrible to be not loved by Melissa Jordan. Fucking not loved. Can you believe how mad that felt? I mean, it felt my whole body was empty. It was like, fucking hell, You think you're together, but you're not together at all. You're miles apart. And this is it. She was a carer, and I was a fucking piano man. And that's how it was. I loved all my families. We were happy with the piano and that. And I was on the road all the time forever. Yeah, but then that I remember. Well, Wendy, you fucking hell. You give me some fucking shit hot fucking feedback. you know, fucking an amazing dad, fucking like fucking wow, you know. Yeah, Wendy. Not Wendy Poulton. Wendy Ware, yeah. My daughter, because my daughter lived with me for some time, right? And then I was friends with Wendy Poulton and Sean Colliston and all that. And let me see now, Tracy and fucking, and her daughters Charlotte and fucking Tanya and all that. I was looking after them and sorting them out and all that. And my daughter says, "Oh, don't get in a relationship with Wendy, Dad." I thought, really? Yeah, Dad, you ain't seen her in a bath. That's what she said. That was her words, you know. Dad, don't, you know what I mean? You wouldn't want to jump in a bath with Wendy Ware. Not Wendy Ware, Wendy Poulton. No, not at all. Yes, so okay then, Bex, I'll take your word as fucking honest and truthful and that, and not go too close to Wendy Poulton. Yeah. I did drive her up to school in my Freelander, and I got her some cannabis from. I'd be relating with Jeff Foreman, who owns a house in Lordshill in Fraser Close, and fucking he actually would shout at everybody, and he did shout at me at some point saying he stabbed me and all sorts of saying anything. But I just told him not to be so silly. I kind of helped him when he needed help and all that. And let me see now. He saw me out a bit of smoke to give to Wendy, because Wendy was shouting at her kids and that. Well, actually, it was Jamie Bridle was her son, right, being shouted at by Wendy all the time. And it was sad to see, to be honest. You know, a kid, you know, probably, I don't know, 12, 14, whatever, being shouted at by his mother all the time. I'm not lying. I'm on, you know, fucking, I remember, this is it. Yeah. Sean, I remember you had a few beers, didn't you, Sean? Yeah, no, I'm sure you had a motorbike and you got pulled over from drink driving. I'm sure you did, actually, to be honest. Yeah, and one time you said I was driving too fast to my Freelander. I remember that. I kind of like, parked up outside his house, and that was it. Fucking, there was me, yeah. And yeah, I'd drive around a bit and turn around where the fucking Alan Snook lived around the corner. Right, he'd been in that area, and fucking, oh man, I hated seeing that man. Really, I wish I'd never fucking see that man at all. But there he was, you know, fucking round my house as well with his drugs like this, amphetamine all the fucking time. Yeah. This is quite a mad program, really. It's fucking, it's sad, really, to be honest. It's just like ladies with their, oh, I don't think I love you anymore. I think I just turned to a different man. Yeah, that's sad news. That's terrible, really. Carol, 28, Sam's girlfriend. Oh, really? She's 28, is she? Yeah. Well, let me see you in 20 or 30 years. Are you still with Sam or not? Because I don't think you will be. You'll probably go and find another man. Like fucking Melissa done with Jason Brown. Yeah, Jason Brown was a younger man. Someone who felt he had the power to stab me and all that shit. Fucking bullshit. I'm quite hot, actually. I've never been stabbed or nothing, really, to be honest. there was a bunch of nippers at Lord's Hill. When I was in a romantic situation with Melissa walking through Sainsbury's, 4 or 5 people fucking attacked me over a cigarette. That was quite mad, really. I'd just say they're a bunch of fucking like weirdos. What can I say? I mean, they probably fuck each other because they're men now. They're men together, and they're all they love each other because they're faggots. I mean, little cunts. I can't stand them, little bastards. Yeah. I'm quite high, actually. I've had a bit of pain down this there somewhere. It's just been fucking mental. It's been quite painful, really. I've been told it's a hernia, each side of my legs and all that. Fucking. Well, like I say, I mean, fucking hell. This woman, she's from Eastleigh, probably about my age and everything. She's a nurse, I believe she is. And what she did do, well, she smiled when I give her one of my cards. You are awesome card. And I said, now look at the back and imagine how good you've been over the years. And have a look at that, right? And she looked at it and she loved it. I made her feel good just like that in no time at all, man. I don't even know her name. I didn't have the kind of love that you would think of. It was just like a caring thing. It was like, read it. Take it on board. Get it in your head. How good you've been over the years. And she was so happy. Ah. Just try and put my heating on. It gets fucking freezing. This place gets fucking freezing cold. It's crazy. I think I was freezing a couple of days ago or whatever it was, and my nose started to fucking, and it was like glue coming up my nose. It was fucking mental. It's still there now. It's fucking mad. No, I got no fucking teeth. I actually bought some Snickers, right, and fucking took my teeth out, and that was it. So I ended up giving the Snickers to fucking Jake Duff. I said, look, mate, you have the fucking Snickers because I've got some Mars bars now. I'm all right with Mars bars, but not Snickers. I didn't like all the nuts. It was crazy. Yeah. I ended up spitting the fucking nuts down the pan. I was like, fucking a whole mouthful of nuts. It's fucking crazy. I'm going to be in this place on my own. No one's going to be here with me at all. It's quite sad, really. Oh, fucking hell. I don't mind living on my own. It's all right. It's not too bad. Yeah. This is quite a mad program, really. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Oh. 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 Listen to the silence. Feel it. Listen to the troubles. Heal it. Listen to the music. Conceal it. Feel the love. Why don't you feel the joy? Baby, you're the girl and I'm the boy. Listen to the silence, feel it. Listen to the trouble, heal it. Listen to the music, conceal it. Feel the love, why don't you feel the joy? Baby, you're the girl and I'm the boy. Yeah. So I can't even sing it really. I could probably sing it different, a little bit different. Keep the words the same, but just have a different kind of song. They're like, I don't know. If you think about the Beatles, a lot of their songs they're quite short and would go round and around again, again. It was quite mad, really. Yes, so I've actually done something similar, and I've still got it in my head. There it is, the same song. It's as well as the same lyrics. Do you remember that song, Killing Me Softly? Killing me softly. Yeah. Killing me softly. Yeah, I'm thinking about that because it's killing me softly, really. The way it is, fucking dragged around all over the country and fucking destroyed, really. I remember the need for love, in a section unit. I just need a romance. I need something. But I'm not going to get nothing in that situation. When I'm stuck in a section unit in a room right? There's no love anywhere. It's fucking disgusting. It's terrible. You can't be romantic. How can you go out and be romantic? You can't be romantic. You're fucking in the section unit. That's it. It's terrible, really. It's fucking, oh man. I remember Jane and fucking your sister. I think her name, no, was it Becky? I think it was. No, I don't know. Jane and that was it. I don't know what her fucking name was now. Yeah, but Jane was definitely like fucking loved up and all that. And I did look pretty cool with my ponytail and all that shit. And like she did that. Well, yeah, I was struggling walking up the road with the fucking my backache the way it is. And fucking hell. Well, you know, I went to garden centres with Jane. Her eyes were out, giving her troubles and all that. So I drove her a few times. And what she said, "Where do you want to go? Anywhere. You know, I'm going to take you on holiday." I thought, that's fucking nice of you. That's great. And she took me. We chose to go to Portugal. And that's where we went. But I mean, there was a little bit of a situation with arguments a couple of times. You know, I remember when we was at the fucking the hire centre where you pick up your car and all that. You know, you hire a car and drive and all that. I just didn't go into that office because I didn't want to argue or nothing. So she got car insurance and I never had no car insurance. But she couldn't fucking drive, so I drove. That was how it was. And I was pretty fucking cool, actually, you know. But like I say, I mean, there was no pulling that. We didn't get pulled over or nothing like that. Nothing at all. And I remember when I got this big brand new hotel, there it was, and there's this guy outside with fucking cannabis like this. I think it was Moroccan black and all that, squidgy type stuff. And a big fucking block of it like this. I thought, yeah, and I think I'll give him 20 euros or whatever. And he's got a couple of grams or whatever it was, I don't know. But he wanted me to buy a fucking great lump of it like this. I mean, I couldn't imagine me getting through the customs with that at all. So I'm sure Jane's quite happy to know that I'm still here in this fucking place, you know. Yeah, because we've done the garden as well, and it was all a waste of time. You might have seen the other videos that I've done. When I had Peter from fucking Vivid Homes threatening my tenancy, and I told him to fuck off. Well, I probably didn't say that, but like I say, I mean, I tried to be nice, but he's just a little bastard, really. You know, I remember when Vivid Homes actually gave me a new bathroom because they felt sorry for me because I was being dragged out of my house so much it was crazy. All the fucking time, in and out, section units everywhere. Fucking Dr. Courtney, you should go to jail for what you do, you little motherfucker. And Medi, for fuck's sake, I mean, well, yeah, all these fucking people I don't want to relate with because they're fucked up. That's the NHS. They're shit as fuck. They're rubbish. Oh. Oh, we've been 2 hours. That's it. Okay, that's not much, is it? Oh, that's fucking Facebook. Oh, and I'm on YouTube. Oh, fucking let's have a look. Let's go to fucking YouTube and have a look. YouTube. Oh, here we go. Hey, Gordy, how are you? I'm fine, actually. Barbie. Barbie, I wish you was here. I'll give you a hug. Yeah. I don't even know what you look like, to be honest. Oh, it's 11:32 p.m. and it's now 12:19. So I don't know if you're still available or whatever for a hug. You've probably gone out now. All gone to bed or whatever. Fucking hell. Well. I can't blow my nose. It's fucking crazy. Oh, my God. Oh, there's my towel. Look. Fucking hell, look at this. Look. I was actually younger than this when I was sectioned. I was younger than this. You know, fucking hell. I've seen a picture of me and fucking, well, it's sad what happened to me. It's fucking crazy. They just come around my house and fucking lock me up and that's it all the fucking time forever. Little bastards. I mean, fucking hell, I can believe it. How can you get into a relationship when you're just being dragged around like a twat? I mean, fucking hell. I feel quite hot now. Maybe I'll put the heat on. I've got a bit of gold. Look. Can you see that gold? There's a bit of gold on there. Right? This one. Yeah. It cost me 186 quid to get it back. Tomorrow it's going to cost me about 320, I think 325 or whatever, to get my £700 fucking necklace back. I was going to be 400 quid, and I thought I don't want it. Just 300 to do. And you know what I've done when I've got that money in my account? I spent fucking money on Temu again. I've been buying loads of stuff from Temu and giving it out to the families, all goodie bags, you know, for all the kids and all that. It's quite mad, really. I'll probably stop doing it one day. I don't know when though. I'm just pissed off that I'm getting benefits because I'm severely disabled and I'm psychopathic and all that bullshit. I mean, there is a letter from Desborough House. I'll just well, fucking hell. Oh, what's that say there then? Oh. When was this? 2013. Thank you, Bryson. To look at your disability living allowance again. You asked to look at your claim again. 2013. Where was it? I was entitled to a lower rate of disability living allowance. Happy getting around £21 each week. Middle rate disability. Allowance for help with personal care each week. Oh, fuck all that shit. There's loads of paperwork over there, for fuck's sake. I don't know how did that fall down? I've got filing cabinet over there with loads of shit in it as well. Nobody loves me, nobody cares. Oh. 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 Oh, fucking hell. Oh, I set my trainer off. I said, oh. Oh, that's bad. Oh. 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 And the socks as well. Fuck it. Oh, man. This one I'm wearing. But my feet are hot. My feet are aching. I'm like, fuck it. Oh. Oh, yeah. That's got bad. pretty fucked, actually. But I don't want to go anywhere yet until my benefits have hit my account. Oh. This is potato leek and copper soup. Yeah. Ugh. Let's go back on Facebook. What's Facebook? Facebook. Oh. 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 Fuck, oh my god. Oh. Oh, there it is. Yeah. That money's in my account. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh, that's all right. I'm great. I'm really happy now. I should have a fucking good night now and go to sleep. Oh. Oh. I'm going to end this broadcast now. Oh. 2 hours and 24 minutes. Yeah, 2:25 around. Fuck it. See ya. YouTube, what want to say. Good night, Bobby. Bobby. Oh, look at that. Oh. Barbie C615. Yeah, I know it. Bobby. Bobby. I got you, babe. Yeah. I'm going to show you on my Facebook. There you are, Bobby. Bobby. Oh. What's it say? Oh, that's got mad. When did I do that? Fuck, that's mad. Oh. I want to turn it off. I don't want to fucking see that. No. Oh. I'm going to bed. I'm fucked. Yeah. But oh my fuck. I'm knackered, I'm fucking worn out. Whoa. It's fucking it's fucking 20 to fucking 1 in the morning. And I'm shattered, I'm worn out, I'm gonna go straight to sleep in a minute. I am. I've checked my bank and my money's in there. It's fucking, fucking hell. Right, I gotta go. You wouldn't know whether I'm sleeping okay or not. Is it a nightmare? Yes, it's a nightmare. Oh, fuck it. I gotta go.